Alright, guys. My name is Brad Holiday, and I'm here to talk to you about drugs in high school. So here's the truth about that. Okay, so there's a lot of drugs in high school. Everybody knows that. It all depends on where you're going, who you're hanging around with. But let me just give you my perspective on this. I've used a lot of drugs. I went through the ringer, so to speak, when I was younger. Really got super addicted to opiates, OxyContin, and heroin, and fucking, I wound up doing a lot of crazy stuff. It's really not important. What is important is what you need to know about these drugs. And the truth of the matter is like the temptation of using drugs is that it's kind of sexy and dangerous. This whole mysterious aspect of like getting fucked up and what will it do? What will it do? It's what the perceived kids who are doing them are perceived to be somehow cooler by doing them. But really, you need to stop and think for yourself about this issue because, like, what constitutes being cool to you? You really need to think about that, and you need to look at. I would suggest that you look at your people that you look up to, like idols, like mentors. Who do you want to be like? Is there anybody that you really look up to? Is there maybe somebody in a movie that you look up to? And when you think about them, what is it that they do? Do you think that do you think they smoke weed during the day? Do you think they drink? Let me just put things in perspective for you in real blunt terms, okay? I could give a rat's ass about what you do. I don't judge you. If you want to use drugs, that's your decision. I do not support it. I do not support any of my friends using drugs because if you do drugs, you cannot achieve highly. You can't do good things. You can't be rich. You can't be successful with your love life. You can't be successful with any number of things. You can't be successful with anything if you're doing drugs. That includes smoking. Okay? Let me explain to you. I recently, for instance, I picked up smoking again. I've quit. I quit about 4 years ago, 5 years ago, and I never picked it up. I'd have like one every few months. A couple months back, I started smoking, and I had like maybe 1 to 2 cigarettes every day. And essentially, what happened is my breathing got messed up. Cardio was harder. Sleeping was harder. My nose would get stuffy. I was coughing, and I felt disgusting. Cigarettes are a complete and total waste of time. They're for losers, okay? Let me just make that abundantly clear. Drugs are for losers, okay? There literally is absolutely not a single reason to be using narcotic drugs for recreational purposes whatsoever, especially at your young age. Your brain doesn't stop developing until 25. And again, I'm not judging you. I'm not lecturing you. I'm not telling you that you should or shouldn't do it. What I'm going to do is give you the truth, okay? I've spent 7 years in Narcotics Anonymous meetings, and I've been clean for 7.5 years. Both of those times, 7.5 years. Since I've left high school, I've known 4 people overdose and die. I knew a kid that killed his parents for their will money. He was a heroin addict. To this day, know so many people who have problems with drinking, pills, smoking. They wish they could give it up because it's hard to give that shit up. It's very hard to give it up. Let me give you a reasonable alternative to doing drugs. A reasonable alternative to doing drugs is that you find something that you're excited and passionate about. Something that you could get behind. Like, I want to get rich by the time I'm out of high school. I want to start an e-commerce business. I want to start an affiliate marketing blog. I want to start building my own brand. I want to start a YouTube channel and learning how to speak and do public speaking. I want to join Toastmasters. Okay? I want to build an amazing physique. I want to learn how to fight. I want to be the best athlete in my school. If you want to go to college, which to me, it's not that important. It's not super important that you get to college. And if you follow my suggestions, you'll be a good enough student that you'll have choices of where you want to go because you'll develop the mindset of being a go-getter. And the college application process will be completely easy to you, and you'll do better than all your peers because you'll actually be proactive in your life. That's the big thing, okay? People who use drugs, they become selfish, they mess up their brains, they hurt their body, all types of things. I mean, you also aren't aware of that. I'm going to do detailed descriptions of the side effects that you get with these drugs. These drugs do not come side effect free. They come with a lot of side effects that are going to impact your life, and it's not pleasant. It's not worth it. Any of them. I don't care whether it's having a couple of drinks at night. It's completely not worth it. All life's experiences are so much better experienced when you are sober. And frankly, I don't believe in performance decreasing drugs. If you're going to do anything, I'd recommend performance enhancing drugs when you get old enough to use them responsibly. That's a different discussion for a different day. So, look, in my eyes, all that doing drugs does is it hampers your motivation levels. You spend money. They're illegal. You can get arrested. Do you want to get arrested, spend the night in jail, and then have to go to some, rehabilitation course? Your parents are going to feel so bad that you did that. And trust me, it's not worth it. When you do this, when you follow what I'm telling you, you're going to start a revolution in your school because you're going to be doing positive things and you're going to start to have people attracted to you. Versus if you do drugs, you're going to push people away from you. Drugs make you act horribly. You make mistakes. You can die. There's almost no benefit to doing them. There's literally not a single benefit. Instead of, let's say, getting high with your friends every day, like stoners do, and drinking all the time and smoking cigarettes, your time would much better be spent in the gym working on your body, going to practice, studying after school, going out with girls, going to parties, but not drinking. Or if you do want to drink, you have a drink. You don't need to drink a lot. It's completely unnecessary. It's going to mess with your digestion. It's going to mess with your gains in the gym. That's why I just recommend, above worrying about drugs, I just suggest that you find a passion. I just suggest that you get in the gym. You start working on that business. You start reading. You start educating yourself with good information. And the truth of the matter is that if you do that, you're not going to feel like using drugs. I don't ever get the desire to use drugs because I know that they're going to impede my performance. They're going to increase my anxiety. They're going to give me indigestion. There's a million and one reasons why drugs are not something that's positive. They're just not a positive thing. And everything in your life should be moving in a positive direction if you want to succeed. Now, I know that a lot of kids are doing them. That's just because they're rebelling. They're just rebelling. They're just doing it because they hate what they're doing in school and there's no point to it. So instead of, following in their footsteps, why don't you just create a purpose? Create something you could be excited about. And I'm telling you guys, if you find a purpose and you really get into the gym, you're going to feel amazing. Your life is going to be so much better than 90% of the population. That's sort of the key. Is get in the gym, do the athletics, read good books, informational self-help books like learn how to meditate, learn how to be in the stay in the present moment, learn about being an entrepreneur, read biographies and autobiographies of successful men, the most successful men in the world, or women, and drugs just won't make any sense to you. If you listen to these people who are truly winning in life, you'll see these people, there's no room for drugs. So that's what I have to say, and I'm gonna keep making these videos for you guys because I want to see you do well in life. I think there's been so much bad information out there glamorizing drug use and glamorizing being a fucking loser. You kids, you young people are the future of this country. And it sounds cliche what I'm saying, but the truth of the matter is, this is 100% true. And I get sick and tired, man. I get sick and tired of hearing this bad information. I remember being there, spending 8 hours somewhere I hated to be. And if I knew what I knew now, I would see that 8 hours as an opportunity to do what I wanted to do, to make something beautiful, to get excited about. I would look forward to going to school, not to sit in the classes, but I would go to school because, for instance, if I got myself in shape, I was better spoken than other people, I was a better communicator than other people, I looked stronger and bigger and better, I knew how to take care of myself, I would have access, I could date the most beautiful girls in that school, I could be the most popular kid in that school, I could build something amazing by the time I get out of my parents' house, and by the time I'm out of my parents' house, I could be making $1 million a year on the internet, and I could travel the world. I could do whatever I wanted to do. I'd be free at that point to do what I wanted to do. Versus what everybody else does, where they get into debt, and they go to college, and they spend 4 more years abusing their body and doing drugs and being stupid and wasting their time, and then just to come out and be completely confused. I say, skip that. Educate yourself when you're a young person and do good things when you're a young person, and set yourself up for success when you leave. There's no reason that you at 13 cannot read a blog. There's no reason that you at 13 cannot do a WordPress site. If you can do a book report, you can create your own business. It's not as hard as you think.